Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We are welcoming all the participants for our fourth session of Gita Gyan seminar. You have been through all the three sessions and you are continuing with the fourth session. That means you got interest, and I hope you will be finishing very soon all the 6 sessions. So let's begin. In the first session, we learned who am I, what is my identity. So we learned that we are spirit soul, we are Atma, we are not this material body. In the second session, we learned about this world. What are the ingredients, what are the elements through which the world is created, or what are the elements by which our body is created. So we learn about the world. In the third session, we learn about the scriptures. We learn that soul is spiritual and very minute. It cannot be understood by any other method other than scripture. Similarly, the world. In second session, we learn about world. The world is also so big and gigantic that it is beyond the scope of the science and imagination. So therefore, we concluded, we decided we have to take shelter of scripture, Shastra. And without Shastra, we cannot go further. So in last class, we learned how there are different 10 points we discussed, which proves that the scriptures are the most reliable source for receiving knowledge. That we learn from different angles. And there is no doubt, all of you, I hope you are convinced about it. So therefore, the now onwards, the today's lessons and further lessons will be based on scriptures, based on Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. So whatever the conclusion of last third session was that there are many scriptures, but the essence of all the scriptures is Srimad Bhagavatam. And Mahabharata, part of Mahabharata is Bhagavad Gita. So Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam comes finally in our hands. So henceforward, whatever we will be discussing is based on Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. So that will be our primary guidelines, books of reference. From there, always we'll refer and go ahead. Okay, so let us begin today's lesson now. And it will be very easy for me because now you are ready to accept what scripture says. So it's for me it's easy to explain you now. Okay. What scriptures are saying about us, our identity, about the world. That is our topic of discussion today. So let us begin. First of all, the God having 3 different energies. One is called internal energy, Antaranga Shakti. Then another energy is called external energy, Bahiranga Shakti. And third energy is called Tatastha Shakti, that means marginal potency. Internal potency, external potency, and marginal potency. Internal potency is spiritual, Chinmay Shakti. That is, the spiritual world is made of internal potency. This world, this material world, is made of external energy, Bahiranga Shakti. And the soul, the living entity, we are called marginal potency. Marginal means in between. Tatastha. Tata means bank. Like river, there is water, there is land, and between that is tata. That is what tatastha, marginal potency, middle energy. So we are middle, tatastha energy. Uh, so there is spiritual world, there is material world, okay, and we, being the marginal potency, our existence can be either in the material world or in spiritual world. We can be anywhere according to our wish. If we wish, we can stay in this world. If we wish, we can go back to spiritual world. Okay. In Bhagavad Gita, 15th chapter, text 7, Krishna saying, Mame Vamsu Jivaloke Jiva Bhuto Sanatana Manasasthanindriyani Prakritisthani Karshati. Krishna himself is saying, Mama, Mama means my. Eva, Eva means certainly. Amsa, like Amsa means the complete whole and their part. Part is called Amsa. And Purna means complete. So Amsa is always the part of Purna. Part of Purna is Amsa. That means complete whole unit and its part, that is called part and parcel. The soul, we are part and parcel of God. That is Gita saying 15.7. That means we are not just energy. In previous session we learned God says there are two energy. One is material energy, one is spiritual energy. That we discuss. And body is made of material energy and soul is made of spiritual energy. That we discussed in previous session. Now we are not just energy. We are not just some Shakti. We are part and parcel. We are person. We are a singular unit. It's not just energy. For example, sun and sunshine. God is sun and the spiritual energy is sunshine. All of you must be knowing that the sunshine, according to our modern science, the sunshine also have light particle. Sunshine is not only energy, it is also particles, light particles. Similarly, the God is like sun, supreme sun. And from God, the light is coming. That is called Brahma Jyoti. And that is spiritual energy. But within that spiritual energy, there are spiritual particles, Chit Kana. In Sanskrit, that is called Chit Kana. That spiritual particles, they are called living entity, your soul. So that means we are not only energy, we are also part and parcel. We are particles of God. Now, as we discussed previously, that this body is like cage and soul is like bird. The body is like cloth covering. Soul is inside person. So why this spiritual nature, spirit, soul, particle of God, why it has been caught up in this material energy? Why we got caught up? And the next line says, Mana sasthani indriyani prakriti sthani karshati. The soul struggling with mana sasthani indriyani. 5 Gyanendriya and mind. With the 6 senses, soul is trying to exploit exploit or enjoy this material nature. So because of that, soul is caught up into this nature. Krishna describing how we got caught up, how we are exploiting the nature. Srotram chakshushparshanam cha rasanam granameva cha adhisthaya manaschayam vishayanupashevate. Srotram, ear, chakshu, eye, sparshanam cha, skin, rasanam, tongue, granam, nose. Srotram, chakshu, sparshanam cha, rasanam, granam, evacha, adhisthaya manaschaya. With the help of mind, the soul is exploiting, enjoying this world. So that is the reason why the soul is caught up in this material energy, material body. Now, in 15.8, chapter 15, text 8, Krishna says, Sariram yadavapnoti yachapyutkramati gritvetani sayati vayurgandhani vashaya. Soul is like enjoying like this in the body with five senses and mind exploiting the energy, material energy, enjoying. And when the time is over, when this body becomes old, then he's giving up this body and taking the new body. So when he's taking new body, that time, Krishna says, Vayur Gandhan Ivasayat. Like the wind, air, when air is passing, wind is passing from, sometime it is passing from flower garden, sometime is passing from some dirty drainage or dirty some dumps. So from wherever the air passing, uh, according to that place, that smell is going along with the wind. Vayur gandha iva shayat. As air is carrying the smell or aroma of the place to next place. Similarly, the soul is carrying the subtle body. Subtle body is mind and ego, mind, intelligence, and ego, three things with the soul. And in that, smell of material desire or of experience. And all our karma phala is being carried in that subtle body. That example is given. And then is going to next body and all the unfulfilled desire he will fulfill in that body. And he will try to fulfill those unfulfilled desires. And he will also enjoy his karma phala, past deeds of previous body. Like this, soul is changing body one after another. That we have already discussed previously. So, why do we get a particular type of body? How it's being decided that what type of body we'll be getting next? That is the question. Why there are so many types of body? Why 84 leg species? Gita, chapter 18, text number 61. Krishna says, Isvara sarvabhutanam raddeshe arjuna tishtati brahmayan sarvabhutani yantrarudani maya. So why do we get particular type of body? So Krishna says, Isvara sarvabhutanam. The Isvara, the controller, God, super soul, he is sitting in the heart of all the living entity and he is seeing what this soul wants, what is his desire, and also he is seeing what are his karma phal, what he has done, all the activities, that phal he need to be enjoyed. that that phala is to suffer, enjoy or suffer is result of good and bad activities. That also God is saying, Iswara Sarabhutanam Riddeshi Arjun Tishtat. So because he is sitting there in the heart, so he is directing our uh, journey to our next body. Then next line of this sloka says, Brahman Sarva Bhutani Yantrarudhani Maya. Brahmayan means Brahman. Brahman, you know, Brahman. Brahman means traveling. God is taking the soul for traveling. Where? All the spaces, 84 lakh spaces. So how is taking the soul for traveling? Yantra. Yantra means car. Or Aruda. Aruda means sitting. So God is making all the soul in sitting on different cars, and he's taking for, like father wants to take his son for outing or tour or traveling. So he take the car. This 84 lakh species are 84 lakhs of cars, different vehicles. On this vehicle, the soul is mounted, and then God is making them Brahman. That means uh, Brahman means circling, circumambulation. That is called Brahman. Now, there is interesting lessons here. I just gave you the basic understanding. Now, this Yantra Rudani means there is another meaning of Yantra Rudani. That also we need to know. Another meaning of Yantra Rudani is the machine, not the vehicle, but machine. Many times in big uh, fair, big mela, there is different rides, and there is called Ferris wheel. In this, that people sit and they go around, circling. So Krishna says, Yantra Rudani Maya. This Ferris wheel is made of Maya. Maya Devi has created this Ferris wheel. This big wheel is created by Maya. And Iswara is making them sit on that, and then it Iswara starts the button and we start circling, circling that, going around on this wheel. Acha, and this is my question, that how many of you have experience of sitting on this wheel? You pay the money and you buy the ticket and you go around and you sit on that. How many of you can make comment in this chat box if you have if you sat on that wheel, you have experience of that particular ride, experience of game. I had experience when before coming to school. Bombay, we went to Disneyland, and all of our brothers and together, and we had all type of rides we did. So one thing you must have noticed there, I also noticed at that time, that we pay money for that ride, isn't it? Once we start that circle is started, that round started, and when we go high, and you feel lot of pain and trouble, and many people start crying. Have you heard? I heard. You have seen people cry. Once it started, but still that doesn't stop. Even the crying, they don't stop. They know that is common thing. Everyone will cry, no problem. Many people are vomiting. So there is a pain. there is vomiting. Still, people want to pay and experience that that pain they want to experience. Not only that, in Disneyland which we went, there are some rides are most dangerous and very troublesome. We by seeing we understand how troublesome that ride is. But the more troublesome the ride, the more the demand is. More people want to pay for that ride. This is quite interesting, isn't it? There is a trouble, there is a pain, there is people are crying, but still they're paying money to experience that pain. Why? This is quite interesting. So same thing. Same thing with us. Hmm. We we are part and parcel of God. We are son of God. God is our father. And we come to the fairest will of this world. And we asked our Father God mm, to enjoy different rights. We want to enjoy different rights. And God said, all right, you enjoy the rights, no problem. God is paying for us. He will pay the money. We have to just enjoy. So God is paying for us and making us sit. Ishwara Sara Bhutanam Riddhya Brahman Sarva Bhutani Yantra Rudhani Maya. He is making us sit on that yantra of this will and is making us enjoy. While enjoying in this ride, we are also facing problems and sufferings. But still we want to enjoy. Even there is trouble, even there is problem, still we want to enjoy. So basically, this world, the 84 lakh species, why it is made, how we take particular type of body. When you go to some fair, the different types of rides, you can select. Some is water, some is sky, some is like train, some is like this, some different. Similarly, in this world, different types of bodies are there according to our desire. If you want to fly in the sky, you are given the body of the bird. You fly as much as you want. You want to become Garuda, or you want to become eagle, you want to become whichever vulture, whatever bird you want to become, you can fly. Or if you want to swim in the water, then you are given the body of some aquatics. You take, for example, you become the fish, or you can become crocodile, or you can become whale, whatever you want, dolphin. According to your desire, the body is given. Then you enjoy that ride. Once that life is finished, then you next like this. The many varieties of enjoyment in this world, and as many type of enjoyment, that many type of bodies are created. So basically, this entire world is created for our enjoyment. We are enjoying this world with different kinds of bodies. This is nutshell of this world. Is 84 like different species to enjoy this world differently. That is basis of this world, say, made for our enjoyment. That's why that sloka says that the soul is exploiting the material nature, enjoying this world. The enjoyment of this world have some problem. In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 5, text number 22, Krishna says, ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगा दुःखयोनय एव ते आद्यन्तवन्त कौन्तेय न तेषु रमते बुधा. Krishna says, ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगा. Bhoga means enjoyment. The enjoyment of this world, कृष्ण से यही संस्पर्शजा भोगा दुख योनय एवत. It's a cause of misery, source of misery. Enjoyment of this world are actually the source of pain and misery to soul. And adantavanta konteya. It is always beginning and ending. It's not endless. It's always it is temporary, beginning and ending. Adi antavant. It's a, there is a starting point and end point. It's not you continue enjoy. And na teshu ramate buddha. Intelligent people do not take pleasure in this material world. So this enjoyment is having four problems. Okay, please note down what are the four problems with this world. First problem is the enjoyment which we are experiencing now is mixed with pain. It's not pure enjoyment is not there. It's always mixed with pain. Like, for example, uh, example is like if you eat sweet, then you get the problem of sugar. If you eat chili, your stomach ache. So whatever type of enjoyment you do in this world, after the enjoyment, the some pain will come. No doubt, no matter how you enjoy, some pain will come after the enjoyment. So that is one problem, that all the enjoyment of this world are mixed with pain. Number two, the pain itself is looking like pleasure. The pain, the misery, that is looking like pleasure. That is a problem. Like as we gave example of Ferris wheel, that wheel that we just discussed, there is a pain, but people are paying for that pain. So pain is looking like pleasure. That's a problem. Like there is one more example, that camel, sometimes camel eats some tree or some leaves of the tree, and in that sometimes thorns are there. So with thorn tree, when camel eats, it sometimes cuts his tongue, and some bleeding comes. But the camel thinks that it is very tasty. The tree is very tasty. It doesn't know that its own blood is coming. Similarly, this world, there is a maybe actually there is a trouble, a misery, a pain, but we are thinking it's a pleasure. So that's a kind of problem is that with this pleasure of this world. And the third problem is that all the pleasure or happiness, whatever is there, are all temporary. No matter what you do, what you try, even the your pleasure or whatever type of happiness you are getting, maybe it is not mixed with, for example, pain. Maybe it's a pure happiness, maybe, but still you cannot continue that happiness forever. It is this world is temporary. Happiness is temporary. Like if you are young, how long you will be remain young? After some time you will become old. If you are enjoying maybe eating, how long you can eat? So nothing can you do for long time. This happiness is very short time. You cannot be continuing anything. You cannot. You cannot eat sweet continuously. You have to eat 2, 3. After 4, 5, Rasgulla it, then you will feel boring, you will feel disgusted after some time. Any pleasure of this world, if you enjoy some time, after that you feel disgusted. You feel, don't like to see even that pleasure. So that is a temporary. And fourth problem is, in reality, all enjoyment of this world are just illusion. In true sense, there is no pleasure at all. How? Very big statement. What is the logic? What is the evidence for that? So argument is this, that actually there is no pleasure, no happiness in this world. It is all illusion. How? Even Bhaktivinoda Thakur said that say sukha abhava puran. It is only filling the gap. Here pleasure is only filling the gap. For example, if you are feeling very hot, then if you turn on the AC, air condition, then you feel pleasure. So is the AC is actually causing the pleasure? No, actually you had trouble. You were feeling hot. So because of AC is removing your trouble. It is not giving you pleasure. Only the removal of some trouble, you think it is a pleasure. Otherwise, if AC is pleasure, then even in winter you can turn on the AC. How much pleasure will you get? Winter, the AC will not give pleasure in winter. AC was giving pleasure because your body was hit that time. You could enjoy. You are feeling it is pleasure because your body was on. Otherwise, AC is AC. It is not happiness. It is not distress. It just is giving certain temperature of air. So, like this, many example can be given. So, whatever happiness you think about it, any kind of happiness is just filling the gap. Some filling the gap. There is some problem, and that problem is removed for temporary sometime. That is called happiness. For example, if you are very hungry, and when you become hungry, you know in your stomach there is a fire, digestive fire that burns. Like acid is coming, okay? Acid secretion when you are hungry. Now, if you eat, you are feeling pleasure. Actually, that not pleasure. Actually, that fire is burning. When you are putting food in your stomach, the digestive fire is being extinguished. Being extinguished. That means, so that's why you're feeling a pleasure. If there was no fire, then that food will not give you pleasure. Actually, there is a problem. You are solving the problem. Similarly, drinking water. If you're feeling thirst is the problem. And to quench the thirst, you put water there and you feel pleasure. Same, any kind of pleasure in this world is just solving the problem, removing the problem for some time. That you think it's a pleasure. So that means it is actually that is an illusion. So we are again will repeat the four problems with enjoyment. First problem was that all the pleasures, enjoyments are mixed with pain. Secondly, sometimes the pain itself feels as a pleasure. Third problem, that all the enjoyment or happiness are temporary, are not long lasting. After some time, it's spoiling. And fourth point, all the pleasures are actually illusion. There is no pleasure in real sense. So what to do? The thing is, we have to do. We go back to our first point. That we are the marginal potency. We are part of marginal potency. We can either be in this world, material world, or we can be in the spiritual world. Actually, in this, in reality, we, the soul, are actually part of spiritual energy. We are supposed to be in spiritual world, but unfortunately, we have happened to be here in this material world. Now we have to again go back to the spiritual world. So in Gita, there is a sloka, parastasmatu bhavonyo vyakto vyaktat sanatana yas sarveshu bhuteshu nasyat soda vinasyati. In this sloka, Krishna says, beyond this world, paras tasmat, tasmat from this world, paras tasmatu bhavo anyo, there is another existence, totally different. After this whole world is destroyed, that world will never be destroyed. Or another meaning is that this world is always dying or always being destroyed. That world is eternal. It cannot be destroyed. So there is another world. Then again, in next sloka, Krishna says, avyaktakshara ityuktas yamaho paramam gati yadgatva na nivartante tadhama paramam mama. Krishna said that that world is called avyakta. Avyakta means it cannot be seen. Like soul is avyakta, that world is also avyakta. Means it is cannot be seen by material eyes. That world cannot be seen by material machines. So our modern scientists can never ever go to that world. They cannot see that because it is avyakta. Like soul. Soul cannot be seen by microscope. Similarly, that world cannot be seen by telescope. No machine can be used for seeing that world. So avyakta akshara ityukta yad avyaksha akshara ityuktas yamahu paramam gadim. That is the paramam, the supreme gati, supreme destination, topmost world, topmost destination. Yad gatva na nivartante. Once having reached there, na nivartante, no one comes back. No death there. The eternal life is there. Tad dhama paramam ma. So that Krishna said, that is my dhama, my spiritual abode. Paramam, supreme. That is my spiritual supreme abode. So Krishna personally telling about his own spiritual abode. Krishna telling tad dhama paramam mama. That is my supreme abode. Once having gone there, one never returns back. So there is a concept of spiritual world, another world in Bhagavad Gita. So many places it is mentioned. There is another world beyond this world, and that world has no death, no birth, no old age, no disease. It's eternal, blissful, Sasvata. Again, in Krishna, chapter 15, text number 6, says, Na tadbhashayate surya, na shashanko na pavaka, yad gatva na nivartante, tadhama paramam mama. Again, Krishna says in this sloka that in that that spiritual abode of Maya, there is no requirement of sun, there is no requirement of moon to illuminate that world. It is self-illuminated world. If having gone there, one never returns back. Tadhama paramam. Again, Krishna saying, Tadhama paramam mama. That dham, that spiritual abode, is supreme abode of mind. So, like this, there are many statements about that spiritual world. Hmm. So now, we being the tatastha sakti, marginal potency, we can choose where we want to be. We want to be in this world or that world, because Krishna is telling that this world is uh, nashavan, huh? Dukkhalayam asasvatam. This world is said to be Dukkhalayam Ashashvatam, which the sloka, this sloka is 8.15, chapter 8, text 15. Mamupeta Punajanma Dukkhalayam Ashashvatam. This world is Dukkhalaya, is place of misery, and Ashashvatam, temporary. And my another world is Sukhalaya and eternal, Sasvata, Sanatan. So now we have to decide where we want to be, in Dukkhalaya and Asashvata or Sukhalaya and Sasvata. So obviously, all of us, all of you must be willing to go to that spiritual world naturally. So question will come, how to go? How to go to that spiritual world? So in Bhagavad Gita, many places Krishna says that how one can go to that spiritual world. So I am quoting some slokas where Krishna telling that by doing this you can come to spiritual world. Okay. Antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram ya prayati samadbhavam yati nastatra samsaya. This sloka Krishna says, at time of death, if one remembers me, and he comes to my world. In 7.23, Krishna says, Antavattu phalam tesham tatbhavati alpamedasham devan devayajo yanti madbhaktayanti mamapi. Krishna says, those who are worshipping the devatas, they will go to Devaloka. And those who are worshipping me, they will come to my loka, my planets. Then in text number 14, chapter 8, Krishna says, Ananya cheta satatam yo mam smarati nityasha tasyam salabha partha nitya yuktasya yogina. If one remembers me, when? Satatam, constantly. When? Nitya, all time. If one remembers me all time and continuously, and ananya cheta, without thinking anyone else, without thinking anything else, only me, then I becomes very easily available to them. That means Krishna's abode is guaranteed. In uh, text 8.16, chapter 8, text number 16, this is Abrahma bhuvanaloka punaravartino arjuna mamupetya konteya punarjanma na vidyate. God says that from this Bhumandala, Bhuvarmandala to Brahmaloka, all these planetaries, 14 planetary system, Bhu, Bhuvasva and Atal, Vital, Sutal, all the 14 planetary system, wherever you go, you will have to take birth and death, you will have to die. But Mamupetya to Kontya Punarjanma Navit. But if you come to my abode, then you don't have to take birth again. Finally, the most important sloka of Gita, the essence of entire Gita, one sloka, 18.65. Manmana bhava matbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame veshashi satyam te pratijane shime. This says, you always remember me. If you always remember me, if you become my devotee, if you pay your obeisances, means pranam to me, and if you worship me, then you will come back to my that supreme abode. Mameva eshashi satyam te. I am telling you truly, satyam. Why Krishna has to say truly? Because Krishna previously also many times said in Gita that you can come to me, you can come to me. But he's saying, I am telling you truly, satyam te prati jane. I am promising you, I am giving you guarantee because you are very dear to me. That's why I am giving you guarantee. I am truly speaking that if you do this four thing, if what are the four things? If you remember me all time, you become my devotee, you worship me, and you offer your namaskar, obeisances to me. If you do these four things, then you will come to me, my abode. So, like this, in many, many places, we notice that Krishna is giving some directions how we can go to that spiritual world. Now, do this, what is being said here. To do that, you need continuous guidelines and training. It is not a one day matter or 1 hour's matter. You need more guidance, more training to do what is mentioned here. For that, you will have to uh, continue the learning of this science, the Gita. So after this session is over, maybe we'll offer another session, another course where you can again enroll yourself for the another course so you can get further guidance how to actually practice the bhakti yoga which is mentioned here by which you can go to spiritual abode. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare. Thank you very much.